Perhaps you just want to earn an extra $500 a month, or you want to completely transform your life by starting a side hustle. In this video, I will reveal to you 3 overlooked online side hustles that actually pay. So why don't you grab a notepad and smash the like button and let's get cracking. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm TFI, and basically what I do is I go out there, I do the research, and I come back to show you the numerous ways by which you can make cool money online. Now, with the unimaginable numbers of side hustle you find on YouTube, these 3 side hustles are the ones you may almost never find in any other random YouTube video, but also from my first-hand experience on this. And this will bring me to the very first one. The first one is selling stuffs that you already own. Now, this is for someone who doesn't have extra money, but you want to make money without having to spend money. Now, I know that you actually have to own something in order to sell something, right? But many of you here would agree with me that most of us have stuffs that we don't use, may never use, and it just keeps collecting loads and loads of dust in the cupboard. Places like eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, Gigi, these platforms make it easy for you to list what you already have, place it up for auction by taking a cool pic of it, write a description about it, and post it online for buyers to check it out and eventually make an order for it. And the beautiful thing is that even if you do not get a buyer, you don't have anything to lose. Now, I'm going to give you an example. There was a time in school, then in the university, I was so broke. And I knew I had this kind of a load pile of clothes that didn't really fit me anymore. I wasn't wearing them. And I knew if it just stays here, it's going to collect a lot of dust, mold, and eventually just get bad. So I went to my fellow students and I started selling my clothes. It would amaze you to know that I sold all those clothes that day and I had enough money to do what I needed to do, and of course buy some cool slacks. Now, this is just a real life on-site example of this, because this is a cool way of not losing 100% of your money on stuff you are not using anymore that are clogging your space in your apartment. So instead of that thing to keep eating up space when it is not doing anything and the lifespan of that particular good is diminishing daily, you can as well post it on one of these platforms and go ahead to look for buyers for. And of course, the downside here is that there is only so much that you can sell before you are living or sitting in an empty apartment, and which brings us to the next one. Now, the next one, number 2, is being a middleman. Now, I think this is the best way I'm able to put this, but basically, this is a little bit similar to the first one. However, this time, you are no longer selling your stuffs, but you are selling stuffs for other people. Now, this is also great because you do not need to have any capital. You just need to know someone that wants to sell something. Hence, your only job is to connect the buyer to the seller without even having to see the product. For example, let's say Mr. A wants to sell a bag and Mr. B wants to buy a bag, but Mr. B doesn't know Mr. A and doesn't even know that Mr. A has a very cool bag at a very cool price. But I, Mr. C, who knows both parties, can be bridging this gap to fulfill the demand of Mr. B and the supply of Mr. A. But this time, I'm getting a commission. So the commission is where the juice is. You may want to look at this as more like an affiliate marketing, but without the affiliation and the corporate grammar. So for starters, it is more efficient to do this on a face-to-face thing, and you can start with your friends, your families, your neighbors, or your colleagues. So you want to go out there, you reach out to your friends, you have something to sell, I can get a buyer for you. However, you can either add your commission to it. For example, if the friend says, I want to sell this shoe for $12, you can go out to the buyer and say, I have this lovely shoe for $14. That way, the seller keeps the exact amount that he wants to sell the goods, and the buyer still sees it as a reasonable amount enough to buy it, while you keep your $2 and everybody is happy. I'm going going to give you a real example that I experienced, my first-hand experience. So some years back, I got a new phone, a brand new phone, and it wasn't up to 3 days. I didn't like the phone. So I wanted to get something better, but I wanted to sell the one I was using. So the first thing I thought is, I knew this guy. What he does is he connects buyers to sellers. He had this sort of a WhatsApp group where people reach him, and then he posts it on the WhatsApp group, and you get to see things that are, really, really cool things at a very good rate. So I reached out to him. The guy never set his eye on that phone. So all he did was to look for the buyer. I told him how much I wanted to sell the phone. He had added his own cut to it and related it to the buyer. I met the buyer paid, and everybody went home happy. Now, if you've watched up to this point and you're finding this super helpful, do want to smash the subscribe button, do want to give this video a thumbs up. There are a lot of side hustles which you can do that are out there. You might say, I don't really like this, or I don't really have a skill. You will be amazed how much you can do, which is why I recently released my new ebook on 27 proven ways to make money online with skills that you never thought you had. So you'll be amazed what you can actually do with the way you are looking down on yourself. Now, the very third one on the list right now is being a rideshare driver. Now, this side also is what people may not find as the most elegant or the mule kind of job, but I once heard it saying that if you want to make money, you must be willing to do what others don't want to. Amazingly, it is super easy to start, especially if you have a well-functioning car and you are able to drive. Like, that is just the 2 things you need to start a side hustle. Now, companies like Uber, you can sign up. Companies like Bolt, companies like Rider, companies like InDrive have made this super easy to start ride sharing with your own car. Here's the cool part, is that you can work at your own hours. So it is super flexible. You can choose to work today and choose not to work tomorrow. There is no boss calling you or being on your neck asking you why you didn't show up, right? Meaning you can even do this on weekends. The only major thing to this is that you need to note the peak period. There are peak periods where people mostly move around and use platforms like this to book rides. Most likely weekends where people just want to hang out. And you also need to note high movement areas, more like the cities. In the cities, people move more than where you have more remote areas. So that's just what you need to note in order to plan yourself, and you'll be amazed how much you can. And I'm going to give you a live example. So I booked a ride with Bolt to go somewhere, and I and the boat driver just got talking about side hustles and stuff like that, just random talks. And then he told me that he is actually a lecturer and he's doing this as a side hustle. That at first he didn't think he should be doing it, but then he thought, there, what is there to lose? After all, I'm the one making the extra money. And he said he was amazed. He actually started within the year, and he said in some months he has made more than his salary. Can you imagine? And this is someone that only does both just on weekends or during when he doesn't have like periods to lecture. So imagine if he was doing it full time. Just imagine. So this is something you are sleeping on. If you have a car and you are waiting for dollars to drop on your laps, this is an idea I'm giving you for free. Now, if you've watched up to this point and you found it super helpful, make sure to smash that like button so hard that you can't miss it. And make sure to hit the subscribe button and join the family. We're growing big. Comment, write, share in the comment section. Let me know that you watched up to the end of this video. And if you still think that there are more options of side hustles that you are willing to explore, then you can try checking my book by clicking the link in the description for my ebook. You can go there, and it's currently on a discount. The discount will soon expire, so go there and grab it whilst you still can.